Welcome back to Anidaso television. But let's step up and get out onto the newspaper headlines. What the newspapers are talking about. Screaming headlines today on Anidaso television. Let's go get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get going. Let's get going today. It's Anidaso television right here. So what are you doing at home? Today Thursday. You set out your goals for this week, but you are achieving here, and now you are here to achieve. What target next set morning? Have you been able to achieve them? Today is Thursday, it's not too late. Extra hard, extra work, extra vim. Let's move on, and definitely we're going to make it today. Trust me. 4 petitions CID over Akunta mine. Yes, people are mad. People are in a wild. You know, we are not going to be spectators anymore. We are going to be citizens. And when something worries you, yes. Now, people want to see what happens to Akunta mines since they encroach on the forest reserve. If you go to the Chronicle, for instance, there are people who have encroached on a forest reserve, and the Forestry Commission is saying they haven't granted anybody license to mine in the forest. So who are those faceless people? Is the Forestry Commission complicit in this? You remember during Sir John's time, there was talk about them being armed and all that. They say the people who go into our forest and mine are armed to the teeth. So what happens to our people? These are things that we need to delve into. So 4 petitions CID over Akunta mine. Wars go down at Ramsar site. Yesterday, there were a lot of talk, a lot of things that wars will go down. But from what we heard that it was phase 1. It was something like... what they said they wanted to do, the kind of military personnel that were brought there, people were expecting some Rambo-style action, but the regional minister was tough. He talked tough. He said this is the first phase. This one we're going to break the walls. The walls of Jericho have been broken down. Next time, what about phase 1, phase 2, phase 3? They will be breaking down buildings. Question we are asking is, most of the people bought it from the chiefs. What better way I want to catch chiefs now? And now, what's it? Get away. If a chief sold it to you, that's a chief aban je assassino would you a compensation my chiefs now. Men from the family land and as 2 lands now. Do the chiefs have the right to sell it again? So why a reclassification now? Does it go back to the stool lands? At Chipana Forest, what's the word? My banana abada stool in Osu. Even the Ramsar site. So we're papi ma one can change that we're papi morning or a pizza. What each day. So he gave it to us. Regional Minister says it's a demolition phase 1. NDC internal elections gather momentum, yes. And 350 million Ghana cedis to modernize tourist sites. Dr. Awa. This issue, when I want to get into it, I'm sure I'm emotional, Kaka. Ghana, we have a lot of, look, I went to the Volta region. I think we are not doing a great service to the Volta region. Hey! Tourist sites be what? If we talk about ecotourism, I think Volta region deserves to be number 1. And yet, untapped. The various roads that leads to our tourist site, and we are happy about tourism. We sit in Accra, we encourage day tripping. Are we correct? Me, my little tourism that I did, if somebody comes to visit me in this country, I'm taking to the person to be able to the town of beautiful nonsense. I was able to come in Pakuna check. And you know, Kaswa, one of the biggest markets there. Tell him about the history of Kaswa, the name behind Kaswa. Talk to the person about it. Why Akaswa is seated where it is? Because it is between 2 vegetative regions, the coastal and the forest. Catch and day. And you know, go and tell the person about it. Every fort, and you see Winneba, no your day, Pomadi, everywhere, and you see Kwesi Yanka Pan African Museum, no one. Take time, nobody can dasa. Let him sleep. He will sleep in a hotel. He will eat. And no power to any Jerusalem are going to do. We encourage day trip and not cast the name. When they go and come back, the expenditure is reduced. Think. Echo France, a chap will be a small chap will be a work in history. It is a deliberate plan to waste time so that you spend money there. making Ghana preferred destination in Africa, 350 million boost for tourism sector. Dr. Awa, this is what I was talking about. I mean, these are simple things that we can do. 1 year kwani leading to the tourist site. But what about the others? Central region, for instance, the various tourist destinations. What are you doing about it? Ochini laments domination of country's business by foreigners. Nana, don't ban small-scale mining. Find Galamsey's alternative solution. Okay, we can ban it. For petition CID over contaminating business are standstill in Accra. Shops, we're closing. And then I mean, could be also recover, also acquire a shop will be a cottage. Said Dura for oh baby. Wait, wild. Also, under pen I quote it all on Yama. But your list now, and answer I want to look at things are somewhere going to be something. This is coming from the Ghanaian Times. Let's move on to the next paper. And definitely it's going to be Daily Guide. Accra shop shut down as city hits 13 to $1. Hey, babe! Ghana bani ayo da nanado ya paucho. Ejaba omi aye sraw. Finance Minister Ofoyata yanko tojo gufom. Do something about the city. Abai! Why? City what the two chaskele another what is happening. 13. It changes by the hour. Nuke jo. Why? And we live in the country and they speak all the good brofo. We don't want brofo. We want action. Focus on the action, not the results. Please, we campaign on the depreciation value of the city. Naba and West. Do something. And I like Nana's optimism. Also, we will fix the economy. Nana, fix it. Mr. Fix it. I remember when the late President Mills became president and was talking about, he was lamenting about the economy. Nana was bold enough to tell him that if the economy is broke, fix it. Nana, you broke the economy yourself. Fix it yourself. And in your recent travels, in your recent surging to the Ashanti region, when they asked you, he said the finance minister was presiding over the fastest growing economy. Now he's presiding over the fastest deteriorating currency in the world. Nana, fix it. Tell him to fix it. Nano Yandem, he's the leader. Fix it for us. Ivorian witnesses bounces Jomoro MP. Oh, Nami MPs wide away and them. Solve water sanitation issues by Omia to African leaders, judiciary independence, intact, and government will invest more in power. Hey, Napo has been talking when they inaugurated that 330 kVA in Kumasi that would allow them to be shipping electricity to Burkina Faso. In Katia Ampofu lead internal chaos in NDC. No wonder it's coming from the Daily Statesman. What internal chaos? It is an internal thing. No, it's like that. Internal election, every election is like putting dirty things in a washing machine. It goes in, but they come out clean. Whether they fight or not. All internal. You know, once you have the internal, it means people are generating interest in the party. Concerned widows, government should not ban small-scale mining. The concerned widows then. Oh, Ghana Fupa. Every widow is concerned about something else. Anyway, MPP launches new membership ID. 6.7 million 1D1F maize factory for such a saying. This 1D1F things, I want to see action. Oh. I'm not against the factory, but I want to see results. We are inaugurating and commissioning 1D1Fs day in and day out. What result has it brought to the table? Has it solved any of our balance of payment issues? Has it solved any unemployment issues? These are issues we need to interrogate. I feel like getting up. The Daily Statesman, General Mosquito and Ofusam Professor Elder speaker, the chairman and the general. Okay, from the Daily Statesman. Let's move on to the next paper and see where we're gonna go. The new crusading guide, MPP government better than NDC in spite of economic challenges. Kobe Asante. This comparison, it X me. Oh, you may before you may before. Take active role in fight against Galamsey. Minister charges Chamber of Mines. That's true. But are you involving them? Trouble looms at busy internet as workers petition GRA, Senate, GIPC over non-payment of taxes, Senate contributions. Oh, Kanopa na you share internet. I did a busy internet. When you public markets now browse na way you or fill a visa forms na way, then the busy internet is down. Bibi o washes about we yate. Let's think about the future. I'm sad. More Ghanaian businesses that are going down, I'm repair because we have people who invest their time, effort, energy in a sika what this businesses not because of 1 or 2 things being all conforma. If the business were to be my own, this is how you feel. Hey, Juma, baby, I think about the future of the company. For what kumashim? Ye Juma them or one kasawodi. Let us grow our businesses. When some external factors, exogenous shocks be how we Juma na. Oh yeah, busy internet. I'm sad this morning. I heard about the FC Perfumery. I went and busy internet when I heard about them. Suhuma MP unveils youth apprenticeship project. Let's move on to the next paper. I'm feeling bad today this morning. Let's move from the New Crusading Guide. And this, when you get to the middle pages of the Chronicle newspaper, you will cry. You will weep. If you care for Mother Ghana, you will cry. The wanton destruction of the forest. Oh God, in Ghana, we are down. Papa, we are descending into the abyss. Abonsam Jemni Edu. Heal our land. As often walk bomb payampa. Lord, heal our land. My country is in a mess, Papa. Forestry Commission raises alarm. Desert forest disseminated in the name of community mining. You know when they started this galam stop, galam shrim, galam wine, wanam wine, they said they were going to do community mining, so the community will be involved. And they were talking about responsible mining. And this is a forest reserve. The Forestry Commission, the director now, original director, also on my penny to be ado be uncle. Forest reserve, why and grebu. Obey kakra, modais where I'm sure Ghana forest reserve kumbo. Forest reserve, coconut grove, coconut po along the beaches, Cape St. Paul diseases. Ghana, we are sick. Cape St. Paul disease or destroy coconut along the coast of Ghana. Ye hunyan same duebi till now. And our forest na nyankopa nanka so din duegumen. Ye training ya that timber, right? My idea reserve no so say ye tundua ni nyina. So the question I'm asking is, in Indiana wobubu of forest no mu na why galamsey one. The Indiana where does it land? Nobody is talking about that one. The timber that are wo twitwa were funded. Forest no mu na what assassin here galamsey. So right now it's twofold. What ko yi na wo hu lumber e ndo de da ha. You are not even thinking about it. Obi so na adwuma oyenye de wo bundua na no so offer. So what's wa ban e wo funded illegal felling of trees, logging small scale wire. Okay, boss, yeah, galamsey. Indiana wine. Are we thinking right? Galamsey can end if Mineral Commission. Rasa won't for us. Chamber of Mines must play lead role in Galamsey fight. Okay, fine, I agree. Magistrate travels 144 kilometers to dispense justice. Ebe, Papa Magistrate, Abasama. Or say Ade Kwesi Akufo calls for peace and unity among Equiapians. Definitely, too. We need peace and unity. From the Chronicle. Let's move on to our next paper. Captain Smart arrested again, but we know he's been freed. Yesterday night, he was actually accosted when he was getting out of his work premises to go home. And then was an pan, but yet to do with Jan. Mahama Council of Elders go silent as Fugu wearing mosquito, coward chairman dirty each other. Charlie, this thing, the anchor has some nice headlines. So you see, it's not anything. No. They are all gunning for the chairmanship of the party. Ofusampofu is the reigning champion. And I see Edwin Katia is moving weight. He's winning from welterweight to heavyweight. But he says that Ofusampofu is a coward. No, Ofusampofu is the whole. And ya no kase no what they have been. So no kase no what to suffer and caprico or a poop. That's what Ofusampofu is trying to say. Because also a coward also a cashier fuguna don't tell you. It's a lazy man's approach, insensitive, small-scale mining rubbish call for total ban. Hey, that's the lazy man's approach. Bring solutions, offer solutions, give alternatives. Take active roles in Galamsey fight. Minister tells Chamber of Mines. We hear. But you see this Galamsey talk here in 2022. Mark my words, there 2024, Baka Galamsey Asama. Everybody will shish. And we will go for elections. This is the country I live in. This is the land of my birth. This is what we are doing. Back and forth, back and forth. Hey, where is Castro? No, so you on baby, back and forth. 2024 election is not a done deal for NDC. Afriyanka has been talking about this from a long time. Wakasa for us no economics quagmire now you find yourself in it. On the NDC or the way you're complacent to. Anything can happen. Nana has promised that he will turn the economy around. If they turn the economy around, CD now we do 13 citizens. Next CD now or rise or fall or rise, please one share my history. 13 year you do. The ban redomination you. Them 0-0 be na ye feeding. So nya them 0 na we ye feeding anka. This time is can you one by heart. Henry Cotter leads demolition team to Sakwana Ramsar site. A first-class graduate returns to selling Beaufort survivor. First class, Autumn Beaufort. The Beaufort will be first class. You see, tasting by a special. The packaging will be something else. Don't berate the person. When you're first class and so what, Autumn Beaufort. The lady, what is it, Abiba, who sells Fantidokon Wanyamansa. Matido Kitana Masters. Autumn Fantidokon. Neat. The business model is different from Equa Tebi Autumn or Ama Tebi Autumn or. That's the difference. Focus on the actions that bring you the result, not the result. I know Ghanaians are suffering. Oh, Nana, see you name Ghana for bepa. Nana, yeah, that's it. I admit today in Ghana for you. But what are you doing about it? You and your finance minister. You brought us into this. You said we had a finance minister who was leading us as the fastest growing economy in the world. Nana. And then you have the same finance minister watching now by economic downturn day. Now Ukraine in the Russia war, what affect Obiaro, COVID or Chobia. What banana young cutting see the water to a pampan Sunday. What policies did you put in place to protect us from these external shocks? Ghana enemy them, maybe now other countries too worry nyama. We are here in this country putting in so much money and resources into planting for food and jobs, and yet we are importing $400 million worth of tomatoes from Burkina Faso. Are we not sick? I thought we were deceiving ourselves, right? So what happened to the money we put in there planting for food and jobs? Where is the jet, eh? Where are the resorts? Where are the warehouses? Where are the dams? Have you thrown money away? Teachers to auction GES director's card to pay off judgment debt. The worst form of MPP government better. I won't read this one. Integrate OGP commitment into priority plans, government strategies. Okay. NPP launches new security enhanced membership card. 73,000 sponsorship cash paid into Ghana School of Law SIC account. PLOs to comply with 20% Lotto commission determined by NLA governing board. See a picture of Samia Uku, the Supreme newspaper. Let's move on. It's 3 minutes to the top of the hour right here on Anidaso television. Where are we going? The Meridian e-auction begins October 21st at Temaport. Ochino. Even for 21st. What can 21st? So now the auction that they've been doing, they want to do the E1. Hey. Yeah, digitization here. Akaka, chop back cry, but on that. Praying, Kokonte, 2 cities, Emaning, Salmon. One D1F in Suta gets maize processing factory to process what into what? Maize into what? Conflicts or what? I want to know these things. IGP toss across traders close shops over inflation. Now traders what to tomorrow. Menyimda finance minister mo bokoto IGP koto. IGP mpocho to the galam say my name here say what nya ba. The traders had to shop ma. There was no demonstration nothing. But IGP is on a tour. Okay. Let's move on for the Meridian. As for this judges construction too, we've been talking about it right here. This is the Meridian. 350 million Ghana cedis set aside to modernize tourist sites and the World Bank Tourism Development Program. Dr. Awa. Tourism, I'll have a special program on it. President commissioned such a maize processing factory. And Minister tasked Chamber of Mines to play active role in Galamsey fight. Talk to to them, engage them, speak to them, sit them down, jaw, and move forward. Involve everybody. You cannot do it all. Yes. President Mandela did something I'd never forgotten about it. Padino ho adwene pa Butelezi, oye interior minister. Ne Nkata Freedom Party funa no oye dede o. Na no oye interior minister. Afi won kono wan hwe. Your boss, your leader is in charge of security. Mandela for you. Did you learn any lessons? Arise, Ghana youth. Fight for your country. Speak. 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 Amwakuba Nancy, oh yeah, I lose canon. No. Hey, Dr. Amwakuba, is he trying to be relevant or charging our charger is concerned about the economy? You know, there were people who were not convinced, right? Nyahota Maklo is one. Kofi Kumsin wasn't convinced about the presidency of Nana Addo and what to break. Amwakuba is livid. He tells Ghanaians to force Akufo-Addo to resign or face more hardship. How can we force the president to resign? He has a mandate. If he resigns, automatically it goes to the vice president. The same Kojo. Separate opinion polls predict a win for William Atamuzi. Oh, is it? Achima Boko resident Chase Roots Minister, South Africa vows to resist Morocco's occupation of Western Sahara. And you see Dr. Richard Amwakuba's picture there. Hey! Amwakuba, why charge it out from the inside? Kwesi Pratt inside. Okay. Akufo-Addo commissioned maize processing factory in Nsuta and producer inflation hit 45.6. Industrial PPL shoots up to 57.7. Takoradi Port receives 2 ship loaders, Echo Hopper, and government disappointed in Guta over closure of shops. What? Whether you are disappointed or not, IGP visits Central Business District as Guta closes shops. This is the last paper we have for you today, the business analyst. So where are we going? Upon all this, the things that you've heard, the headlines, the screaming headlines, they want to develop tourism. And yet, what is the amount of money what they call tourist industry? And Sikana was here then. What the year seminars and what stakeholders meetings? What is the result? Yes, let's go. Capacity building. Capacity. What capacity? The roads are bad. It was to be year of roads. I don't know whether it's a decade of roads or years of roads. And years of road. Year of roads. Okay, year of roads. But years indoors to years of road. And bro from one more. What's that bad? Develop the tourist potential of the nation. But in Afro Nation, we did a lot of things. What are we doing to even Panafest? We killed it. Why is it for certain? I wish I could speak to her. Brilliant idea of Panafest. What did we do with it? It brought Steve Wonder, it got me Mutabu Aruka, it brought Onwonyina was back country no more. Where are they? Why are they not coming back? Kwesi Mfume, all those guys. Why are they not coming back? Because we mess up. You were supposed to do it in Cape Coast. Now variation comes. One for being Kumasi, one for being Accra. In Okosi then. Don't we think? Do it in an area, confined area. Let the people over there get their share of the economic activity. Why do you have to spread it? If they don't have the resources there, produce the facilities for them. You plan. You have a beautiful festival like this. Now you brought in Emancipation Day. Then the late Jacob Bilamte brought in say, Joseph Return or say Joseph Naswa. Everything we want to create a different thing. Go to the woman who created Panafest. She is there. Is it now that we are talking about tourism? How many castles and forts do we have in this country? There are Nombabu fort. It exported more slaves than any other fort in this country, and yet all the attention is on Cape Coast Castle because it was the seat of government. Is that how our history is? Seat of government, does it attract tourists? Yeah, Elmina, yes, it was started in 1482 when they met Don Diego de Azambuja and others came, and they move on from place to place. The Dutch were there, the Swedish were there, and all that. And then what? because it was there that they took Prempeh the first to the Seychelles Island. There is that the history we want to teach the people. When the people come and we take them to the castles, what do we tell them? No, I'm just asking you. I'm asking legitimate questions. What do we tell them? Are we good storytellers? I like the man at Adaklu. When they're talking to you at Adaklu Mountains, there are problems, there are monkeys, and the tonation of the man alone was peculiar to the region. And he spoke with passion. What do we have? We tell our stories without passion. This is stories we are talking about. What do we tell them? Koansa, wherever you are, that's your film, Crossroads at Cape Coast Castle. One of the best feature films I've ever seen. Depicting the history of rap music. You know where rap music started, right, in the world? Right? It's Achara Baby. Also, that's the first rap in the world. Tell me, give me any other alternative. Forget about Grandmaster Flash. Forget about J.D. Ambley. J.D. Ambley actually is reported to be the first person to have recorded rap music in the world. And yet nobody's giving him that acknowledgement. You think it's the U.S. we started right down here, the Steno Booths and the Pedro Show Band. That's what we're talking about. The things that we have, we don't push them. How do we tell our stories? No. How do we tell our story? This Ramsar site, that Yekes is a woman. Didn't we have the chance to develop it further? We have to sit down for somebody to come and say it is an endangered area. The best that we find there that we can only find in Australia. Why don't we leverage on it? I went to St. I spoke to the owner and he was telling me about people who come bird watching. Do you know the amount of money we could have gotten out of that bird watching alone? The hotels in Temada could have been full because people would travel all the way to come and see a particular bird. And you know, Krobiana Bola bird woman. When's the last time you saw a vulture in the city? Now it is not hawks watching Moframbo. On your hawks and watching Wakana Unkukombo. Now the ravens. What's watching? Comment the one. What are we doing? Questions I'm asking. If we are serious about tourism, let us develop it well. It is not the talk, capacity building. It is there, black and white, and yet we see now when we create something, the roads to the tourist site are bad. No, I'm asking, if everybody comes into the country and they fly the person to Cape Coast, Obama was there when you know Cape Coast. Why? No, what Cape Coast, they are fascinated by when you know McLean's Abadabade Hall, where we signed a bond of 1831 or say a bond of 1844. And then you know the first chapel, now George McLean, now for Charles Philip McCarthy, Nabade. No, yeah, then. The door of no return, no, yeah, then. And that's what? Take the person to Anomabo. Take the person to Komante. Ewutu. What are we talking about? What about Sopon? Political mecca of Ghana. We look, UGCC, CPP, every party was formed there. Sopon is in ruins. There are bed that Osaji Fudia to signify the formation of the CPP party. It is there. One party politics thing was being lifted around 1991 and they wanted to form political party. All of them went to Sopon. And Hammond Hall, where they formed the CPP party. What? The hall, Frabeku Santana, ne uncle, Nifi, that's the building. And one was starting what forming UGCC. Where are you? Do we know that? Let's go for funerals and even go and see things around us. Get her! Are we even writing? When Awuna was writing the Sea Eats Our Land, did you have erosion to that large scale in Teketa? And yet check the time that he wrote the Sea Eats Our Land, the erosion, the Sea Eats Our Land. When Kwesibu and others were writing about the dry seasons. Check our poems. The poetry, the kind of things people were exhibiting. We sit down in the country and we talk. We need action, my brother. Let's move. Our parliamentarians go to parliament and speak all the big English, and they yet the implementation. Oh, we are. Where does it lead to? Square one. Let us move. It is time to move. No, it's not on JJ. You see people that you know you are sensible that being politicians and messing us up. Our leaders. Do we have leaders in this country? Where are our leaders? Where is the papa who said where are you? Come and lead us. And I have a little problem. There are some people who are on the civil society pages and space. All they do is talk. Please be involved. They give nice solutions. I want them to put some of them in positions of trust. No one fixing your country in my hand. No. Some of them talk. What kind of answer? Mr. Aban, fix some of them. And you want to share certain sectors or expertise one handle. Because I have seen from the vice president that he gave a very good account of himself as a lecturer. When he was campaigning and was talking about the economy, he raved and ranted, joined the political elite. He wahala, nurses, wahala, this, wahala. I want him to sing that wahala song again. Mr. Vice President, now is the time that I need your expertise in talking, in oratory. The way you talk, the way you speak, the way you convince me. Please do the same convincing and fix the economy. And let me have that trust in you. My trust in you is down. My faith in you has been overshadowed by the depreciation of the city. All the big English and economic jargons and other things, the theories that you propounded, now is the time for you to put them into action. So Wale Adam Smith or so whatever. Please, we want action. We got people who got first class, second class, and other things. We want to see them in action. Am I asking the wrong things? Am I asking for too much? You decided to lead us. You begged us to put you in areas of trust. We trusted you and voted for you, and we knew we would fix our problems, and yet you are taking us back. When Kwame Nkrumah said forward ever, backwards never, what was he talking about? We were to be leading Africa. Now we are backwards. If our economy is that bad, if our city is that bad, what signal? Okay, Ghana is the Abadi of Africa. So if we are down, if they follow us, is that what we want? An Africa, a Ghana for that matter, Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana. Hey. When Roger Miller and others went for the World Cup and they were asking, a press conference and they were talking about, is that the greatest? He said something very instructive. Maybe you've forgotten about it. He was making a prophecy. He said, wait till Ghana qualifies for the World Cup and you shall see. And our boys did it in great style. Had it not been for the unfortunate aspect of Asamoah Gyan's late penalty, we would have been the first African country to qualify for the quarterfinals. What did you make of that? He was trying to tell you Ghana was the leader. As far as everything is concerned in soccer, when Kwame Nkrumah inculcated all the teams from his Republicans, he had a mission, he had a vision. Which foreign coach has taken us there? Is it not the local coaches who took us there? Or some they do and others, and yet, that's all for Kumpo today will appoint foreign as their coach. What do you work in him? When you're Gavrila, when you're Stepan, Kenichi, whatever, on your own coin. It is Boyd who took you to a cup after Jones had to confuse. Kumasi Asanteko, my own team, mysterious Ebusuan drafts, Abantia. Charlie, let me go for a break. I need a cup of tea. Come on, Ebusuan. It's time for action. Today, we'll move. And the movement starts today. The crusade starts today. Give me your text messages now. 0500-788-103. Bring your messages. I'll read them for you. I'm on fire today. Come on in, people. It's time for action. Let me go for a break and cool down. I need water. H2O. I'll be right back. Okay, we see on Anidaso television. But I speak my mind. Calls have been coming in. I'm fired tonight. I am asking them, please. I just let me read some messages that have come in. Musa Abatwa writes, the economy is in crisis, but their focus is to arrest journalists who criticize them. When GM was in power, journalists were free to criticize him. But in Akufo-Addo and Baume's administration, you dare not. This is a clear example of the dictatorship. Sadly, inflation is skyrocketing. In 2016, 1 cup of sugar was sold at 150 pesos. But today it's sold at 50 pesos. Hey, Jama. Akufo-Addo has totally failed. Greetings to lawyer Ivan Samankwa. This is coming from Musa Abatwa. Walanyo from Akwetia writes, it's time that the president should be alerted once again that finance minister has nothing better to offer. And therefore, those in charge of the economic management team should back up to bring back to the voters before it's too late. For NPP in 2024. There is more room for improvement. Regards to Robert Lamte, the CEO of Okumkom Foundation, Medina. If you have a message, you can bring them. I'll read them for you. Yes, I'll definitely read them for you. And this is what I do best. If you have I have another message that I'd have to read here. Inshreba Anelka writes, to my knowledge and understanding, breaking the 8 is a movement, and it's also a done deal for the big elephant because MPP is better than NDC. Case closed. Greetings to the Vice President of Ghana, His Excellency Dr. Baumia, next to lead. Mishaba Anelka. We are here. So wherever you are, you can also send me your text messages. I read them, be it on our Facebook or Instagram or even on our WhatsApp. Yeah, the WhatsApp platform is getting interesting by the day. You can actually send me your message. I'll read them for you. Baguta closed their shops yesterday. And the IGP was going around the car. I thought the IGP would be somewhere there, but Chapman joins me in the studio. Eje Chapman, Akwawa.
PeeKay,
I pay my word.
It's your word.
Tell us, I know, by 2, I was so stressed up. I was thinking, why economy? Now you don't need an alarm clock. The problems wake you up. Why? Is there nothing that can change?
Oh, I would say Abina is working very hard.
Formula no, those is no.
It's very, very hard to make sure say my best is we are on course, and the narratives will change very soon.
The president, I listened to the president yesterday. He was like, "Your best is will turn the economy." Yeah, he spoke like a politician yesterday. I listened to him, maybe because he was addressing party faith. It will turn your best to say will turn the economy around, and you know the way he talks when he's on fire. And I want to see that same vim, that same zeal in the body politics of ours. It seems, I don't know. Things are getting well. Now it's 13, right? Break the 8 is not 13. We've broken the 13.
Broken the 13, and I guess we'll break 13.
I'm saying, I break the 8. Now I'm going forward the campaign. Since I will break 13. No. If the CD 13 to $1 was some papa. And this year alone, I don't know, many metrics are what year, but if October 13 cities by December.
By December ready.
Now I quite on slide the Kakrampo. And you know yesterday the IMF what they said, we should prove our debt sustainability. I'm sure we might not even reach an agreement before the reading of the budget, and that will put our economy in distress. Are we on course?
We are on course.
Yesterday I had something from, is it Zimbabwe? No, it's Tanzania. Compare their thing to Ghana's city. I felt bad. For the first part of the years, your term, you manage me sitting here. And I'll say it, proud person. I'll say you manage the economy so well. Is it that Nabosiana what they manage the economy and or Yentoms and there was a plan?
There was a plan. There was a plan.
You didn't plan for an external force.
There was a
plan. I plan one year.
But external force, PeeKay every day, me can say, And yet Ghana pen are shock you.
So why is it that other countries are?
Okay, say other countries are.
Yes.
There are a lot of things happening in other countries are. Every day, last time I buy my site, say the UK, a very good economy, better than ours. But you know, when you are as is in their projects, there will be a recession maybe in 2023. That's what tell us shocks now are causing across the world, you know, and you're Ghana pen affecting. It is affecting almost every economy. That's the reason why a lot of countries are run to the IMF for a bailout. That is a testament. Say there's something happening across the world. Say Ghana and Kwananka experiencing these things, and Kameka say in the NHS say fundamentally there's something wrong. But globally, Obia Ebre. And we are not an island, or no, say Ghana and an isolated case. We are also part of the system.
Okay.
And you know, na abanisa. And what I was saying is, just like you rightly said, yet yes, say the money the I but we have to manage and to say there will be a turnaround. I mean, say Abanisa is working so hard to make sure say a better in the manner around.
What are we doing differently?
The May bump when I was reading something about the UK and even the UN Wimbia report be. I
had this article, Kwacha versus CD, the best and worst of African country.
Kwacha, Zambia.
Yeah, I was reading it and I felt Kwacha happens to be the best in the world, one of the best in the world now.
They had a lot of difficulties some time back. I think that was Zambia, eh?
Yes.
And they also ran to the IMF. Yeah, and things are beginning.
But what I'm saying is, so they are seeing something. And the Ecuador drums.
Let me just say,
the factors that affect us, it affects them.
Yeah.
What's your best practices, right? We copy from each other. We do best practices.
And I just say Tanzania and I said Zambia kids now Okano. They had the economy was worse, doing worse some time back. But now at least they are doing.
It was the change of leadership. The change brought about the change.
Is it? I don't want to even go there.
Okay, let me read this thing. Over the course of the year, the Zambian kwacha has risen to become the best performing currency in the world against the dollar.
Okay.
It has gained 15% so far into 2022 and was quoted at 15.93 to the dollar in Tuesday trading.
Yeah.
Experts have pegged these gains on President Hikelma's efforts to turn around the economy, mainly by reorganizing its foreign debts to make it sustainable. In September, the Southern African country inked a crucial deal with the IMF for a bailout loan amounting to $1.3 billion. Yeah, 3. 1.3. That has helped the economy. Oh, economy.
We are better than them.
Ain't
you know, and yet the same factors.
What factors are we talking about?
Let me come in here. Now me can report this. Let me read something here. I say, while Africa is here to fully recover from the socioeconomic repercussions of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Russia-Ukraine conflict poses another major threat to the global economy, with many African countries being directly affected.
The cedi's position has been worsened by foreign investors losing confidence in their country and opting to dump Ghana dollar-denominated bonds from their portfolios. According to the country's Central Securities Depository, the amount of domestic government and corporate bonds in the hands of foreign investors fell to 12.3.
Okay.
Now, this has seen Ghana fail to access cheap money from the international debt market and a Zambia-like deal with the IMF for $3 billion in emergency from the IMF.
The world has been affected, just like I'm reading to you. Ghana is not an exception. Because we are in Ghana, that's why we are so much critical about Ghana. But when you rate other countries, similar factors now affect you, Same way investors now losing confidence in those economies.
And yet,
what do I say?
And yet,
I mean, my example for the UK. I cite UK all the time here. The UK, inflation as we speak now, highest in several years.
Yes.
Economy.
And another one so resigning from this trust government.
That should tell you say things.
But Ghana, we don't resign.
No, our culture is different from ours. Your culture of resignation, it's not in our DNA.
Oh.
And to
me, yes, academic to me.
You're fan cast cry, and you're part of our system. Maybe one day when we get to that level, our democracy, we understand, say, we need to go by those principles. Say, willingly, you just resign. Anyway, let me read something here. Say, just within few weeks, global wheat, sunflower, crude oil prices have soared to unprecedented levels. Africa is heavily reliant on food imports from both countries, and the continent is already experiencing price shocks and disruptions in the supply chain of these commodities. It's a long report.
Yeah, I like the first part.
It's not just mere rhetoric, say, COVID impact, and the Ukraine, my friend is saying, Russia war.
This is general for the African countries, right?
General for African countries.
Okay, so let me ask you, we are net exporter of oil.
Yes.
The global rise in the prices of oil means we are experiencing a windfall. Everybody is quiet about that. That windfall cash not paying. And now, a legitimate question.
It is a legitimate question.
That windfall, maybe say that cash not paying because say with the when the prices of oil goes up, crude oil goes up. That means.
I told him, say, a bank has a lot of things to do.
What I'm saying is,
and,
projection now, or pegging us them to the dollar.
Yeah.
The A is rising. Until your projected revenue.
The projections now does not necessarily mean that we have projections that you are going to realize soon. With my projections.
Anna.
With my projections.
But since you are though.
I don't have the figures to.
No, you don't need to have the figures. A projected American can answer the global rise in what? Price of crude.
Yeah.
We are a net exporter of crude. Yeah. So you don't need figures.
At what percentage? Your percentage.
Now, why did you quote it?
Your percentage.
Why did you quote it?
Me, you are talking even of countries almost about oil new year. Ghana, your percentage. You cannot compare ourselves to
you quoted it. No,
Nigerians.
Listen, you quoted it.
I quoted it. It's part of the reason why.
So if it's part of the one that our expenditure will rise, it's part of the reason why our income too will rise. Yeah. So talk about the income as well. We seem to be quiet about it, and that disturbs me.
Income, income, I bind the year input to Juma.
Oh yeah.
Even free SHS, when you say a chunk of it goes into that sector.
PeeKay report now, or a damning. We are not going to.
PeeKay report has been damning from ages.
I've
read them consistently right from the NDC time, Mama time to the all the time. At the point in time, we can't put someone says KB and the Mama Yirai. But these are things we need to at least do what say you be all those kind of wastages,
Pretty nice. I like it. But what I'm saying is, admit it to the people. Me, I don't want us to sink the other. There are two sides of a coin.
No, maybe if you look at my style, I don't even like comparison.
Yes.
We are in government.
But what I'm saying is,
so we need to make sure that is the reason why we voted.
You know, I said this morning when Nana lost the 2008 to
Mills.
And Mills came and said the economy was challenged or is broken. What did Nana say?
You should fix it.
Right now that you are in power,
yes, so
he admitted that it is broke. So I don't want to talk about.
That is it. We need to fix it. That it do maybe so unless we need to also.
Nana should be bold enough to mirror that of us in until cool. No, sometimes.
No, look, I wouldn't go there because last time I catch up. Sir, if it comes to that aspect, let's leave the president. He's been emphatic on that. Sir, he's not going to do any changes. He is satisfied with the team. He is satisfied with the team. And we can only back him and pray. Say the team takes us out of where we are into a new level.
And I just said something that when the Black Stars coach, or your next selection, you're not board. And you're not yet born. Na yebre. Because we are what? Over 30 million. We support the Black Stars with our heart. He toys with our emotions. We are an uncle saying about turn on the press conference. I was satisfied with their performance. I mean, wow.
Just like with the Black Star, we are as a president, you know. We have a constitution. He campaigned with others to be voted for to lead the country. The Ghanaians and majority of Ghanaians found him worthy. And immediately he's voted for. He assumed some powers.
Yeah.
You and I now, we don't have those powers. We can only critique and call him, say, Abia, only one or two things.
Yes.
But just as I always see, you know, our criticisms, you know, and as our suggestions, you know, they are not binding. They are not binding. The president and his team, you know, that's why he has a cabinet. They advise him. Say, this is one or two things that's on we ever boy. And he has emphatically stated, say, he is confident in the team. Many the only thing we can do, they say, we will also pray and hope, say, the team, you know, just as they perform creditably in the first term, you know, and in the mix of all these challenges, you know, they will come out with innovative ideas via a bit me, which is a must, they must do. Because just like you rightly said, CDN hit 13. It's not good news for business, especially. It's not good news for business. But I hope, say, we'll get out of this. I have confidence, so we'll get out of this.
My producer said I should give you time to go and do research in the next 40 minutes.
Was it?
My producer said I should give you time to go and do enough research and call you back in the next 40 minutes.
Yes, sir.
That's what my producer said. He said I should give you time for 40 minutes and call you back. This is Anidaso television. My producer said I should go for a break. We'll bring Chapa in the next 40 minutes. We would have delved deep into what to do with statistics, and then we'll go into it. I was asking about statistics too. We were telling him to go for it, and then we'll come to the Ghana Statistical Service and get some statistics. Data for you. We're going for a break when we come back. This is Anidaso television. All right, Ebusafo, welcome back to Anidaso television. I've been joined in the studio by the Honorable MP for Tema East. And former mayor of Tema. You know, they want to add it all. Now we have Nana, Doctor, Professor, Osofu. You add them all. And then my good friend, Mr. P22 from the ICGC, Zoe Temple, right? Just there.
Yeah, Tema Community 5.
Tema Community 5. Okay. Oh, okay, the other one. Okay.
The new building, the new one.
The man wants to see that it's a new building. Why? The building has been there for a long time.
No. It's just last year. We commissioned it just last year.
Wait. You started it last year, or you commissioned it last year?
So
the building is old?
No, the building is 3 years.
Oh.
It's been under construction.
Yeah, it's been under construction for 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so we commissioned it just last year.
Okay. Why did you follow on up here? Why is CGC food there coming by now more cartons?
Maybe I would want to take it from him and say I'm rather following him because my constituency is Tema East.
Okay.
And I represent both the residents as in individuals and I also represent organizations.
Okay.
And so faith-based organizations are an integral part of the people I represent, including the industries. And so when I find institutions or organizations embark on laudable projects such as this one, you know, business networking, a seminar that seeks to empower entrepreneurs and to bring home the essence of business, I think that it is worth supporting. And so I wholeheartedly have joined the campaign to invite all businessmen, all employees, and all residents in Tema across the Greater Accra region and anywhere you may be to participate in this all-important program. So we build capacity, network, probably the key to your business advancement.
Because I was asking him to tell us about what he was doing, but you managed to sneak in and say it.
Yeah, just because I don't want it to look like he's following. I'm following him because I chase my constituents.
So we are following each other.
You are right.
So tell us about what you are doing.
Okay.
Honorable has said it, but tell us from your own. He is part of you, definitely now.
Yes.
But you are the programs manager of the event.
Yes.
Alisa Hotel.
Alisa Hotel Tema.
Black tie.
Not the Northridge Tema. It's the newest.
The new one.
Yes.
The
newest-
freshest one.
The freshest one.
It's bringing some new thing in Tema.
Yes. The ambience and everything. It's just amazing. Yeah.
But why not red tie?
It's a black tie event. Yes.
The tuxedos and other things will
Yes,
follow, right? Okay,
yes.
so what are you doing? Which people are you targeting? Which people are you inviting?
Okay,
Am I invited? Which people?
Everyone-
Do I qualify?
Once you're a man, you qualify. Once you're a man, it's a men's ministry program. Yes. So once you're a man, you qualify.
Okay, so what is it about? Honorable has talked extensively, but from your perspective,
Yes, please.
what is it about?
It's a business and networking dinner conference.
Okay.
It is dubbed the Black Tie event. But then the theme of the program is excelling in your business and in your career, a long-term approach.
Wow.
Yes.
Excelling in your business and your career, a long-time approach. Probably you've started business, but there are things that you need to know. I think people will be there to share their experience. Are you inviting special people? Is it going to be an all talk? Are there going to be talks by some captains of industries?
Yes, please. Yes.
coming.
Yes.
Surprises?
No, no surprises. First of all, we have our Reverend Kojo Amoasari. He's going to be there. Our keynote speakers are two. We have Elder Samuel Amutobin,
Okay.
CEO of Tobinco Group of Companies.
He's been talking of late.
Yes,
He's been
yes.
sharing his experience.
Yes, he's been sharing experiences,
I
and he
think
has
I
a lot
love
of
that.
experiences. So people like that, when you listen to them, they give you leads, and we look up to them. Yes, and we also have Paul Mante, managing director of EDC.
Okay.
Yes, so Tobinco will be speaking to people who do their own business, and Paul Mante for people in corporate world. Yes.
I think, when is it happening?
It's happening this Sunday, 23rd of October at Alisa Hotel, Tema, Committee 12, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Is it a dinner or something?
Yes, it's
People
a
love-
dinner. Yes.
Once you put it at 4,
Yes, it's a 4
so
to
now
8.
people are checking their weight and other things, so we
Yes.
eat earlier, right?
Yes.
Okay. Until 4 to 8.
Yes.
Who are your MCs for the day? Surprises.
Okay, so what we are saying is that networking is very important in business. Networking is very important. As somebody said, networking is not just about meeting people. It's about meeting people with people. It's about meeting people who have ideas. It's about meeting people who have the resources.
Who will make an impact in your life?
And who will make an impact in your life.
Because
That's
your
right.
wealth is your relationship.
Oh yes, because the thing is, wherever you aspire to do, people have been there before.
Yeah.
So you need people who have the experience.
These
to
Christians,
tell
they
you,
always
yes.
want to go back to the Bible. There is nothing new under the sun. That's it.
So we are bringing people to share their experiences. So it's a call to all young men, all business, all employees, all employers. You need to come to this conference. You need to come to this business conference. We also want to say thank you to our mayor, our former mayor, and our honorable MP. Immediately we went to him and told him about this project. He opened his doors to us, and he has been with us all this while. And he's been opening doors. We say thank you so much. And we also have the mayor of Tema also coming.
Oh, it's a
of
mayor
Tema.
event.
Yes. We have the MP for Tema Central, Honorable Yves is also coming. We have the Director General of Port coming. We have a lot of dignitaries coming. We have a lot of dignitaries coming, yes.
I think that's one of the reasons why we set up this TV station. We want to project Tema. There are lots of things that I think we are not telling our own stories. We need to tell the positive stories. I mean, we don't have to let somebody tell your stories for you. That's sometimes I get worried when I read all about people writing our own history and others for us. I think it's time Africans tell their own stories. Once we are in Tema, let's create our own stories, success stories, and then share our stories.
Yes, sir. Even though this program is, we have sponsors, it's a, I would say it's a subsidized event. The ticket is 350 Ghana cedis. And if you want a ticket, you can call 055 873 9340. 055-873-9340 or 0243-322-138. 0243-322-138. You can call and make your reservations and you get your ticket for the event.
To all businessmen, if you are staying in and around Tema, Greater Accra, wherever you come from, I think you need to participate in this. I will be there. You come and find me. I'll go and learn a thing or two, and I'll come and tell you. I'll come and report on what transpired over there. Maybe if they had told us earlier, we would have supported it fully. But it's not too late. It's now till Sunday. Today is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're inviting everybody, all men. Now they say women's conference, but this is a men's conference.
Oh yes, it's a gender-based conference. And we also want to acknowledge all our sponsors. Sectragon Limited, Asarimenka Farms, Green Vine, PT Construction, Spectra Global, Regworld, Comlab, and our partners, ICGC Zoe Temple, Alisa Hotel, and also our media partners, Anidaso TV, and Ahoto FM.
Because I was going to send the invoice to Honorable. Since he brought, when you started mentioning your sponsor, I said, oh, I've got you money. I'll send my invoice to Honorable. Okay, right. So we'd like to say thank you to you, Samuel Amako Petu. Why is your Petu and Amako? What a difficult company. Why is the link between Amako and Petu? Is it AITO?
No.
Which one? Your Petu is what?
PAITO.
That's what I was talking about. Why are you combining Amako and Petu?
The name that's the name my father gave to me.
No,
yes.
The root is what? No, I'm interested.
Fanti, yes, I'm a Fanti. From Mankron. Mankron Kwanta.
There's a disconnect.
The central region.
There's a disconnect. Ask your father questions.
Yes, sir.
Go and ask him. Tell him I said so.
Okay.
The Petus come from, quite industrial, enterprising. I'm sure he's a strict disciplinarian.
Of course, yes.
I knew it.
And he's also a young entrepreneur, very, very astute at it.
Oh, all right. So that's so you need to be there on Sunday. I will be there, and once the Honorable has promised to be there, we'll leave the ICGC temple people to go and do their programming. Once you leave, then we'll delve into the business of the constituency in Temais. But I'd like to say thank you for taking the time to pass through. And to everybody who is watching us, just make sure you are at Alisa Hotel this Sunday. 4 p.m. is the time to start. Not 4 p.m. to get there. They will start at 4. It's networking. Let's go and network for business in Tema and region to go wherever you are. Once you are building relationship, you know it's there. Thank you so much. Honorable.
My brother.
The man who followed the man who followed the man and brought him here. How is work as an MP like?
Interesting. Interesting. Very, very interesting.
They say you are a special MP. I don't know, but I'll ask you about it. I don't know why they said you are special.
Of course, I can guess a lot of things. I wouldn't know why. I've not been quizzed on this before, but I can guess a couple of things. One, the fact that for over 2 decades, the NDC had not won any seat in Tema. And so I set the pace as the first MP from the Green Stock. Yeah. And then secondly, I come to many people, you know, as their darling boy. I don't know, I give the glory to God. But
pay what fans.
Yeah, certainly. But you see, that brings enormous pressure on you when the multitude are following you. I'm not Jesus to ask that 5 loaves be used to feed all of them.
With fish.
But it brings enormous pressure because I see the love of the people. I see the affection, the sacrifices people have made to get me where I am. And so the pressure is, what can I give back? I chose to give my all, my heart, my all. Because that's what I can give. I can't go around sharing material things, and to promise them that at every step of the way, it shouldn't matter whether you are in industry, you are in school, you are in education, health, whatever I can do to assist, I will.
I was coming to that because I was thinking about the transition from a mayor to an MP. How has been your political life? Did you aspire to be a mayor? Did it come by chance? Did you lobby for it? Was your quest to serve, when you served as a mayor, were you satisfied with what you did? You now seem to be content with work as an MP. You wanted to serve your people. You've been given the chance. Are you doing all? Is that all you wanted to do?
No and yes. The no is that I never conceived to be in the forefront of political limelight. Oh. And my evidence is this young man seated right by me.
Wow.
Yeah, I worked with him for close to 8 years. Yeah.
As what?
When I was head of finance at International Commercial Bank, he was my staff.
Oh, so the great started from there?
Oh, yeah.
The cash started
I think I'm a modest person. I would say rather from Ghana Education Service, because when I was going to even the bank, I was driving my own car.
Ooh.
In a modest way. So for me, it's not about how much you have, but the modest life. And so he is a testimony that we'd never, when I was the head of finance or senior manager corporate services, we never spoke politics. Of course, when we share national political issues, it was for it, but not that I was interested. So it never was part of my agenda to be. But all through my life, I've always given room to the God factor. Because I know in whatever you do, there is an aspect of your life you don't hold, you don't have total control over. And so every human being, you need to understand your 4 quadrangle, okay? There's one of the 4 that you don't share, you don't have any control. If you drew a square and divided it into 4, and you plot yourself in 1, certainly you will share border with 2. The other, it will only be the angle that you share, so you can't see that place. You don't traverse into that area. So there's always that God factor in my life from beginning to where we have gotten to. So even though I never conceived being in forefront politics, I made room for my passion and what I enjoyed, which is the social democratic credentials of the NDC. So whilst I was in bank remotely, I was supporting in my own small way, for the love of it and for the fun and hobby feeling of it. But I can only thank God and thank certain political leaders who saw something good in me. I wouldn't want to mention names because the list has grown.
They eventually pushed you into it.
Yeah, but I won't shy away from mentioning people like Honorable P.V. Obin.
Oh, okay.
The late P.V. Obin.
Great orator.
Yeah. Anytime I think about him, I feel that something has gone out of me, because he, 1, and then 2, the Honorable Emmanuel Ajianang, the former Council of State member. I can't talk about my political trajectory without mentioning these 2 stalwarts. Besides them, I can mention the Honorable Ofosu Ampofu.
Chairman.
Chairman. I recall my first engagement with him was in 2013 when he was at Jimpa, taking a course, and I went to him early morning, and he was so calm. He exposed me to the realities of politics, and I think that I owe him a great deal. Next to him will be Honorable Afutiagbo. He also saw me at an event in Tema here. And as a young banker, I had been made a chairman of a big community program. And so when he came and saw me as a chairman, after the program, he just said, "Young man, for your," maybe today I've even put on a bit. I was a bit lanky and tiny. And so when he said, "Young man, for you to have gotten chairmanship for this event, there's something in you. I'm proud of you." And so when the time came for him to give recommendation about me, he referred to that event and said, "Look, the community certainly is behind this young man." And so these 4 people would be the foundation. But locally in my party, I owe people like Mustafa Dakun, we call him B. Salam, my former chairman. I owe people like Madam Esther Abe, he's a former women organizer. I owe people like Ibrahim Ajete, who was also, he didn't know me, but when he saw my CV and read about me, he owned me as though we were coming from one.
There's been talk about they are having elections on Saturday.
Yeah, sure.
As you mentioned, the former things. some of your people have been here and I've been giving them chance to sell their messages to the people. And some of them have been saying that the MP seems to be having a long hand in the selection of people. Into say some people have been disqualified and other things. I was like, okay, one day I'll get a chance to speak to the MP about
I'm ready for the
how
question.
is it like, is there a perception that they think that some people have been disqualified because they are not in your camp? I know these internal politics, everything can happen. Is it that you want people, I don't know, I don't think you have a favorite, but definitely you work with anybody.
Sure, I mean, that's the underlying factor, that I'm able to work with anybody. I'm able to, and I'm willing and very ready to work with anyone who wins these elections. That is not to say that as a leader, you should not protect the organization you lead. Yeah. As a leader, when you see something wrong, you must be a leader with finesse, a leader with substance, a leader with that energy to crack the whip.
Yeah.
Okay. And so my assurance to all aspirants, and in fact, my heart goes out not for only Tema East, Tema Central, Tema West. Of course, I've not gotten myself into the Tema Central and Tema West politics, except that I do have friends among them. And some may even want me to make public statements. I said, no, let your metal or your quality speak for you. Okay, but when it comes to Tema East, certainly I have an onerous responsibility to ensure that Tema East, that has become attractive, continues to remain attractive and even shine brighter than we have all met it. And so I wouldn't take it from anybody who thinks that I have favorites, okay? Because I have openly gone to people and appealed to them to give other people a chance. And I wouldn't run away from that as a leader, okay? There are positions that 2-3 people have talked to me, I want to go. Sometimes I just say, okay, and I just stay back. Other times I go beyond that to say, oh, this your brother is contesting this position. I would have wished you gave him the chance. And so once I tell you that, that tells you that my heart goes for, and why I won't hide from that. Yeah. There is a wicked tendency, even that being perpetuated by people who should know better, people who are in academia, people who are business men, and they go to spew lies, and in addition to the lie, they add to it that when you ask me, I'll deny. For me, that is the most weird, wicked thing people can do. When you tell a lie, leave it to stay. Yeah. But when you add that, when you ask me, I'll deny. I will sit in this in this studio, and say whatever my heart believes in. Yeah. I am doing it for the Tema East constituency. If it goes well, fine. If it doesn't go well, fine.
And we pray it goes well.
Yeah, it will go well because I'm doing it from my heart. It is not to detest anyone. It is not to say that someone is not good. I've just said, in cases where people, I've seen 2-3 quality people wanting the same position, I say, oh, you are quality material. This, your brother, is also very good. Given where I sit, I see a lot of things. Yeah. Okay, I see a lot of things. I relate to a lot of agencies that would disclose information that I'm barred from publicly disclosing. But as a leader of Tema East constituency, I do not say I'm a leader. My chairman is a leader. That's contestable. I believe otherwise. But I would prefer that the status quo remains. I believe otherwise because in our constitution, when a president is in office, he is the leader of our party. When we elect a presidential candidate, he is a leader of the party. Once he loses, the leadership reverts to the chairman. Okay. And the constitution explicitly replicates that at regional.
Trickles down.
Yes, trickle down too. And so by inference, and not just open inference, but close inference in the constitution, what happens at national would happen at the constituency. So my interpretation, which I don't force, okay, I allow the chairman to be the leader, and I'll play whatever role I have to play. I believe at the end of the day, it is how we collectively harness the human capital and resources at our disposal to achieve our ultimate goal. And what is our ultimate goal? Is to win political power and to steer the affairs of this country in the most efficient, most transparent, most development-oriented, in probity, accountability, freedom, and development. That is our ultimate goal. So all that we are doing, if it will not inure to the benefit of the party, as in winning political power, then we are among most men most miserable.
Honorable MP here for Tema East, but talking about these issues, there was something that I was talking about, because I went to Adaklu, for instance, during Steve Akoli's funeral, and I saw people wearing T-shirts, fresh T-shirts. Is it 2016? T-shirts that were not distributed, and they were distributing it at that time. So somebody was saying, okay, it was the chairman who ordered the T-shirt. Somebody said it was the MP. As you talk about leadership of the party, for instance, that's why I brought this in. So the chairman and the MP, for instance, paraphernalia, things that came that had to be distributed. Apparently, one of them had ordered it. What's your relationship with the chairman? Now I know people are gunning for new chairmanship. When they come, they want to. Your style is different from what somebody would want to do. So when they come, who becomes the leader then?
Yeah, for me, like I said, my chairman would be the leader of the party in the constituency. I'll be more than willing to offer every support in every area of our political activities within the constituency. So I concede whoever is winning the chairmanship race will be the leader. To touch on the example you gave in holding paraphernalias, let me put it in context. I do know that there are people who vie for political office and they lose sight of the fact that the position they hold is to help us win political power. And so once that occurs, they seem to look at the immediate gains rather than the future gain of a government in power, such as that under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, which saw several hospital projects, saw several fresh new secondary schools, not just increasing stock of infrastructure within the schools. You know, so I'll come to that. And so when people vie for constituency positions and they lose sight of our goal to win power and they engage in immediate self-gratifying activities, these things would happen when they get materials. Instead of releasing them for the essence of winning power, they keep. I heard stories of people who even sold some of these things. But watch it. It's not every rumor that flies that is entirely true. I live in Tema. I have experienced situations where things were imported, like T-shirts, cloth, and they were not cleared at the port on time for them to be used. Yes, and so after elections, the things might have gone to even demurrage and, impounded and things like that. But eventually when they get cleared, they will come to the market. Someone may think that such a thing was deliberately hoarded. When I was in ICB, I became senior manager corporate services. And we imported, our global head office was in Malaysia. So we got diaries and other, souvenirs for our marketing department. Yes. And they delayed at the port.
Wow.
I don't know what happened, but eventually the shipment got divided. And so about part of the consignment delayed. You know what? One day, almost a year, it was in August, after I was walking by the Abrochibola Meridian, Meridian, and then I saw my bank.
Plenty.
Yes, the diaries being sold by the roadside. Would someone say someone hoarded it and sold it?
And the year had.
And I'm sure if it's in the political arena, you, the head of marketing, your head will be on that. So let's allow people to express themselves. I don't see why when I believe in something, I can't express it. And somebody would think that I'll lie about it.
Please, if you are in the Tema East constituency, our MP, the Honorable Aisha, is telling us he wants the party to retain power. And it's the first time they've won the election. He's a pace setter. He's setting a record. I think he must have been. Did it come as a surprise to you when he won?
No, no. I would say modestly at a point, it looked a bit muddier than I thought. Okay. But as for the victory, I had not wavered. Wow. Yes, because I saw the love of the people. Look, I was in the US studying, and I got a call, WhatsApp call, and there were about 3-4 aged, elderly women, and the assurance to me at the time I was being courted to come down.
Okay.
And this woman went like, Ashai, you shika watawo. One to no, but what didn't you about you one CD? So you see, such women, they gave me a certain foundation that in this life, the God factor cannot be eliminated. Yeah. They gave me this Ashai want to know back. And they are not partisan people. These are community people who had heard about me and wanted to assure me that if it's about money, they are not looking for my money. They are looking for my service. And so I'm here to serve.
Wow. That's why the Honorable Asha we're talking to. So we want to ask him about his first time in Parliament. I just want to know some of these people when once they get elected, I think they have a seminar for them and they go to Parliament, and then your first experience in Parliament, coupled with the election of the speaker and all that, was your first time, and could see the anarchy, the chaos, everything. You are like, is it what you expected? Then you ask yourself, is that what I brought myself into? Or the euphoria, everything was nice to you. Was it a shock?
Yeah, it was rather nice. And as the events unfolded, it never was surprising to me. Of course, that was not what I bargained for. As in that sharp division that we experienced on the first day in the House. But it was a pleasant surprise in that I saw the political astuteness and strategic maneuvering of our leadership. Honorable Haruna Idrisu, I salute you this morning. Honorable Dr. Abeji, I salute you. Honorable Muntaka Mohammed, I salute you. And Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim, I salute you. Honorable Doyo Kujo Ganza, I salute. These 5 leaders, coupled with our party leadership, really masterminded the first day in Parliament, because the first day was the eve, which is on the 6th, the night of 6th, to enter the 7th of January. And I don't know how they got that done. We were camped.
Oh, right.
We were camped in a hotel, and that was their political astuteness. You know, they understood the time, they understood what was ahead of us.
What time it was.
Yeah, so they beat our opponent to it. Okay. I think that singular foresight did the trick for the election of the speaker.
It was quite a
so I credit our leadership for that yeoman's job.
When the military men entered Parliament, how did you feel?
Oh, we were charged. I was part of those who were I was just next to Honorable Dafiama Akpo, and he got burned with the torch.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they did that. And so we gave, the solidarity was great. Remember, the NDC's anthem, you know, it's
Arise, Arise.
It's spirit-filled.
Let's Juwalaka, rest in peace.
May he so rest in perfect.
So that was your first day.
And so on that day, of course, because the people of Ghana elected a balanced parliament, 137, 137, with 20 female, 20 female. The males do the same.
Yeah.
And so I thought that Ghana was going to have the best. Yeah. Ghana was going to have the best of parliament in the 8th parliament. And so we expected that there would be more of consensus building. Parliament will now stand as an independent organ of state, okay? because we are the same. So let's build consensus. Let's share, responsibility. Let's share duties. And so if we had progressed on that tangent, I believe Ghana would have been the benefactor. Look, by the majority's posturing, a lot of things have gone wrong for them, yes. Their posturing was one of, we are coming from 169. 169. You were only 109. And so at that time, you can say anything you want to say and they will have their way anyway. Okay. Now 137, 137. Even the independent candidate technically was not in their fold.
Yes.
Because this was an MP who had been ostracized from parliament by the ruling government. This is an MP in whose constituency another MPP candidate had been projected. Against all odds, this MP wins as an independent candidate against the MPP's candidate. Then he comes to parliament, because you sacked him from parliament. Then he comes to parliament. I would have thought that modesty, humility would have been their tool to cut even that independent candidate on their side, and to also ensure that parliament would stand up to governance. But I think the 7th parliament got into government's head and they tried to do things just the way they have done it.
Have they changed?
I don't think they have changed, because you see, look at, for example, E-levy.
Yeah.
I say this to buttress the point that my experience in parliament has been checkered. One that shows seriousness, and I'm not, I'm learning as backbenchers, first term, we do get opportunity. I'm blessed that one of the committees I serve in, I have a mentor who is very experienced.
Have you made your first statement in parliament yet?
I have made a couple of presentations on fisheries. I've asked a lot of questions.
Okay.
And
How
so
is it feeling like to get up and speak in parliament? For the first time?
You just have to master the courage and get up.
Nerves, bundle of nerves? So
I have been a MCE before, so I think that it's a bit balanced for me.
Okay.
But the parliament is a new area. And so you don't have to just think
standing on this and all those things.
Yes, you don't have to
learn.
think that because you just wake up and say something. No. Because whatever you say goes into the Hansard. It's a record. That's why I say parliament is a house of record. My first rising was to make a correction on the we call it proceedings. The proceedings.
They read and this
yes,
one.
yes, the proceedings.
Like we would call it minutes.
Minutes, yeah.
You call it proceedings. Okay.
So I got up to make the correction. So that was the first time, and then subsequent to that, I supported a statement on Water Day because I relate to that very well. And so since then, I've done a lot of things, both in the plenary and at committee level. But the bulk of parliament work is in the committee level.
Yeah.
Okay, and so at committee, I see my experience in private sector, in public sector as GES, and also my experience in the local government arena as in a former chief executive, all come to bear at the committee level, because that's where you have time to really, when you come to the floor, it's more of a summary of what has happened
at the committee level.
So normally it's the leaders who would get your, but we are all learning, and I'm happy to be in the 8th parliament. I'm happy.
Wow. It's good to be in the 8th parliament. There were talk just before the elections, there were talk that, I don't know whether you spread it or some people spread it. Someone say you were arrested before the election.
Yeah.
Some were saying that you caused that publication or that you caused that rumor that you had been arrested on the orders of the then MP. I don't know how true it is today. I'd love to ask.
No, it was a case of...
were you arrested?
Yeah, there was an allegation that took me to the police station, and so I spent the day of special voting, that night, the night before the special voting, and the day of the special voting, I was at the High Court. I had slept at Committee 11 police station.
Whoa, really?
And I tell you, the love of the people. People walked from places. I was in Ada to attend a funeral, and a group of people came to me and said, look, when we heard you were at Committee 9, we took car and came to Committee 9.
Wow.
And so I don't know where this love is coming from, except to say that God's work in me.
So how come people were saying that you weren't arrested and all that?
In fact, it was an allegation that started about a year on. But I knew it was a political allegation just to impede my desire to, because I mean, I can't think about how that allegation even gained traction. But when it started...
What did I say you've done?
That I had diverted TMA's funds 5.7 million.
Where is the Auditor General's report?
Yeah, and besides even the TMA itself was asleep. The organization that has lost, that they claim had lost that amount, was not in court, was not anywhere. It was the then MP who was at Yoko pushing there and bragging.
Oh, okay.
And bragging that he will cause me to be arrested. I cannot contest. I thank my party leadership for the confidence they
stood by you.
Yeah, they stood by me. Because when these allegations started, it was more like an internal allegation to get me out of the race.
Oh, okay.
Because whilst I was a bit neutral in my desire for MPship, there were people who wanted it badly.
Okay. In your party?
Yeah, in my party.
Okay.
And so it started. My primaries, they used it. They used it internally.
Okay. Because some were even saying that you were playing the tribal card and all that. I'd heard allegations.
Which of the tribes? Because I'm a typical Fanti and I'm a typical guy.
Yeah, they said.
Luckily for me, my big brother is the chief in Amanfo near Apam. He's the chief.
Oh, aye.
Yes, my brother Pain. Me Ashai, yeah, Babina Otodri Basa.
Oh, like Mensa.
Mensa. Yeah.
Okay.
Ashite, yeah, my papa ne line. My papa ya ma.
Okay.
Ebusian oye agbowe ebusian wotema no me papa oda ma ne nti ni abaka na oye beyin ya ahite ma otodo ebie ne ahite na otodo ba san ya hyai
nti
ahite ni di hini wo amanfo wo otom.
Oh, okay.
Na nko ya asafo hini wo otom na odi hini wo amanfo.
Wow.
Aha. Na ashite na otod oye asafo henu wotema agbowe family nti am mentumi yimi hu as a fanti mentumi yimi because
ebieni nyina eshim na royal lines ejade na wo say that
tribal area number 3 me wie school a me shema brabo ase no me ka sha ase wo north.
Okay.
Nti se menya girlfriend in tema nka me ware obi wo north because me tira ade wo ho.
Uchafu say na bi kra.
No nanka menya menkai manya nkofo nanka mebo bidin na wa account. So I started life in the north. Okay. The northerners are not people I take for granted.
Okay.
Remember, your work life determines your economic emancipation. Yeah. And so if they had not given me that environment, and I got tested.
Okay. In
the north, I got tested. Both my person and my work attitude in the north. So I don't take the people from the north lightly at all. And then for the Votarians, my dad's last wife, is it last or last but one?
Hey, no, yeah.
Papa, no,
a senior player.
A strong man.
A senior player.
Number 22.
Hey,
11 female, 11 men.
I bet 2 team complete.
Yeah. He was a strong man. But my stepmother, Ofia Didome.
Okay.
Me mama, woman, no true. Inti growing up, no, on na community. Oh, Papa Finti. Oh, we. Being there, yes, I did what I call village, Until my first best friend in my life is called Erasmus Wokepoke Ofikita.
Okay.
Until I have a connection. In fact, my first girlfriend. At training college. Oh, you're Votarian. Okay. I am naturally connected with every base.
Into your bandana was there was
politics. The politics of our time would always drive. I say this on record. Okay, I say in America there, my wife me papa. The first day obesra my wife na my friend na your friends.
Okay.
My wife na my friend na obesumun. Me pede me boni dina ebia na boyfriend
for spiritual reasons.
But
just to
yeah. Or the Eunice, my member Eunice, or the Eunice. But you see, so naturally, the God factor I told you has connected me to the 4 major tribal settings. To advance my love for that, me institute program by a friend Merifest. And Merifest was to deepen the cosmopolitan living within Tema. Into the man fashion, is it an English program or an okay. And so that program was a platform for Gadangbe, Votarians, Northerners, and Akans. So why him funing now? Yes, very, very fantastic program. The peaceful coexistence I can allude to that program. At every point in time, I am conscious, but I'm not overly conscious to offend even people who naturally must be given a chance. When you hear people say, I play tribal cards, it's for their political gimmicks.
Maybe one will come home, will delve into that aspect of the tribal card now. What's a Kade and Krenyan, Asana Nipanipo, on your 100% in Krenyan, that allegation. What I had to say. So, Eben, what has been your your achievement? Here now you're watching different things. When your people come here, what out to achievement, but one kasa as a person. It's now one day can do a marriage. I remember your MP for my constituency for this number of years. Damn, made to my.
Okay, I am say 22 or 21 months in office. Many are 2 years.
Okay.
Yet. But me did there abra yebenya 2 years. Yebeye midterm review. Na ya bobo nyama ya ye no do. Na at that review no nyama ankase anan na yebeka wansem pa. Odikan ye governance. The governance system, how we support governance. Or today being how we support social services as in education, health, and the related social activities. Or today how we promote local economy.
Good.
Gredi ana mobeya nkrofo once abekowano na nyama bekodo na otodo anan infrastructural support. Me there as MP, me resource level no today ijina abanano or assembly our to but only your excuse.
Yeah, okay.
Only your excuse. Until if governance me share there on as an individual man could tell me to me in CAC share governance no. Now, so your existing institutions and organizations are what ma governance process no kodo. Even your tribal chiefs.
Yeah.
Tema the Council of Tribal Chiefs Wishim Site 1. Sometimes it's Wishim TMA Old Assembly Hall. Nkofi wodwuma wodi no obwa ma se nsam nkiti bi pui wo tribes ana wo ebusuan kuma wotum wo so ano megidi de se ye boa won na ye hye won nkuna na ye nsam bebre na obekọ police station na atrikla court na cases na ka yepi nti megidi de se ye yin kọ wo ho na nhihye a yewo ma won nye de yebeboa na we nya ADR alternative dispute resolution training na we also wada aboa but CCR de bibia wo yibia no medme ho hyem resource levels nti ye chichiro nyamande next year na ye first training for war ADR nti if one wo mu bia be frɛ they will tell you ashai is our son.
Okay.
Sometimes they tell you even though we belong to a different political divide, Ashai gives us that comfort as a son. Even if you are the overlord, which is the Tema Traditional Council, not the paramountcy, we can't take it away from
you
them.
you.
Yeah, you will. Oh. We have to give them their place. Because answer na local governance, back to school,
okay.
Support for education. Answer na local government, hey,
trouble is the one.
Yeah. Now, local governance until so this computer lab. Maybe 2 years, 5 computer labs are running now.
Oh, interesting.
Telling you.
Now there will be a board with resources.
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of support. Some we use the little support we get as MPs.
And you are doing something special, and I must commend you. Who be inculcating the children the coding skills. I get excited.
Sure.
Most of them, I wish them Muswan computer. I am here.
But
okay, bro. Yes, yeah, but I'm a farmer. Yes, I'm a farmer for phone.
Do you know something? Maybe see a computer in university about level 300.
Oh.
And then I so computer. Now maybe at school 99, maybe university 99, maybe education office. Now I was the only eyed man among the blind men. Oh, but computer education office.
Okay.
As the deputy municipal accountant. Okay. Now computer is one me Excel. Now me the pool there no my location or there ye chiche in a formula. There the teacher all the basic schools. Until me use Excel now me there no my champion.
Excel
the then director. Well, Madam Amu, I don't know if where is now. Out. So but in the performance area far greater than what we do. And that is the vision I have.
That's why I'm excited.
My partner with organization, all the schools now here, my one computer lab, we have a gentleman's agreement with the schools. And you know what I did? I first trained all the circuit supervisors.
Beautiful.
So that they will have an idea of what is happening. When they visit a school and there is a coding class going on, they should not go there and be lost in what is happening.
I like that.
And so we've trained the circuit supervisors. We have also trained teachers in modern pedagogical tools, you know, for sustainable development goal 2030.
Wow. Okay.
22 teachers, also 23 teachers have benefited from that training, which we partnered the Israeli embassy for that training, because training, the trainer of trainers, and the whole country, 2 people. My recommendation was for one teacher at Oninku Drive. He qualified for the national. And then the other teacher was from PTC. Training College. Yes.
Oh, okay, beautiful.
So the 2 teachers who represented Ghana in that training.
One is in your constituency.
Yes, one is in my constituency.
Now, it's been a blessing.
Yeah. And he's always full of prayer. Anytime he calls me, she thanks me for
that, it's a she.
It's a she. And the other is a gentleman. And so the 2 of them came with the Israeli embassy support to train 21 teachers, so plus the 23 in term. And so that training is ongoing. Into next year, my agenda will be to support some of the teachers with laptops. Okay.
Nancy, government mama on laptop.
You see, when government embark on frivolous, campaign-driven missions.
Is it frivolous?
Frivolous.
Linda.
The teachers are complaining that they've been deducted. Monies have been deducted.
I have a friend
and the laptops have not been given to them. Listen to me carefully. You see, Nanka to be bulka. Other price in the before.
Obviously. Little economics.
And there are programs both under UN and other organizations if we mean well, they would get even sponsorship for these things. Right. So you don't tell teachers you are paying 70% of the cost, and the 30% itself can even buy them. You understand? No, it's about government. the infrastructure ubenyano the one can. For example, when you hear free SHS, the concept is good. But one infrastructure ubenyano no the one can until they tout free SHS, but what they are promoting is their capitalist-oriented business money-making venture.
Free SHS, no, I supply schools. It's ban no way
it's ban na warfare. Yeah, because you see, Ubariko school, I never basa no canto. I didn't work the classroom work.
Yes.
Classroom work, no. A friend ni feeding.
Diet. Very important.
In the infrastructure.
Okay.
Or your systems and the structure, the school dying on your system, teachers are all. Now the learning. If by saying man, two broken down. In fact, the third one is also limping. If learning ankasa, how is it that you change a curriculum and 2.5 years there's no syllabus, there's no textbooks for
the master
no, but the 3 legs on which education thrives, one is broken. The teachers are now resorting to pamphlets and look, the danger we are bequeathing to our children is a damaged future.
They say they are fixing the education sector, right?
But I would have thought that you progress progressively so that you don't endanger the children. Look, naturally, video of a young girl who can mention any country and the capital, that should tell you that there are natural giftings. It is a school now there are few within the school that, irrespective of the bad policies, bad teaching methods, bad infrastructure, there are few who naturally will excel because they are gifted. I would say 5% of such people will exist. Okay, until they can take advantage of that, I don't have a problem. But how is it possible that you take a project or a program and you don't have infrastructure, and now you introduce green shift?
So what's the answer with CCV? They've abolished the shift system.
But
right?
do you know the harm you have caused?
That's
Get the
because they're doing school. It was during my time that they introduced the SSS into your school now. So we were is it Form 5 or
Form 5, yeah,
6 Form and
then this broke it.
Asia World Cup.
So you see the progression.
Yeah,
we took our time. We took our time. Now look at what is happening. You allow children to go and sit home when they are supposed to be in school, and you think that you have achieved something.
Because trimester system and semester system, they more even hours have been added. Even so the less hours. I don't know how true it is.
You see, contact hours are not measured in what you put on the timetable. They are measured with how you can intersperse work and play, and are steady and play. When you be all work and no play, make jack or boy, something like that. Into the school curriculum must have break sessions. It must have extra curriculum activities. Into our time,
we have PE and music and all those things.
It's for a purpose.
Commission.
Even libraries in our schools. Yes. You see schools are made library. Shame.
You know, I get to Tema, the one near the Tema Secondary School or something.
Yeah.
Library, Casino, what Zonta International.
Yes. It's almost the fun. And so, if the government is really minded to promote and provide a better educational infrastructure and system.
You were just the immediate past, the immediate past mayor.
Yeah.
I didn't know TDC in your requirement command, but what did
it was supposed to idolize Nkrumah in Tema with programs. That was supposed to be the green area for programs. I recall the World AIDS Day. 2015 or 2016 on Farmers Day. 2015 or 2016, one of those, we organized it there. And it was also supposed to call attention to the green tema. We had conceived the Greenwich Meridian line over a market redevelopment in Tema Committee 1. Yes, we're going to develop that enclave up to the Barclays from Kwasoja to Stanchart. Okay, so it will go up, and then we'll have a line marking the Greenwich across to the Gulf City. That was intention. There was this organization, Kwame Zonto or something. He was always pushing this Greenwich Meridian. You see, in managing state, you can't, as government, think that you have it all.
Okay.
You have to open up. There are individuals who have ideas.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it is just in harness, bringing them together, that you get the gain of a better state. The reason I touch on free SHS, I'm saying that teaching materials in your it's banning some part, or yeah, the major cost of free SHS. Why should food become major cost of education? Why? When you are dealing with education, the core of education is teaching learning.
Yeah.
The next to it is infrastructure before feeding. Because our food be your money is bad.
I think guarantee, shit taught.
Look, when my child was at Anidaso, when I go to the school and they need something, sometimes they said
no about
no Kweku.
Oh, okay. Bodo house. Okay. That's Katanga down there.
Oh, only Katanga.
No, I see one year Katanga, next year Leopoldville.
Oh,
yes, school
okay.
watch him too.
Yeah,
I'm a full Santa Claus.
Okay.
92. I see 1 year Katanga. Until Kweku house, my house is a Brazil house next to Kweku house.
Wow.
Then Jubilee house and Jonah house and others. No, soon here Canterbury, Aglombi and all.
Hey, you belong.
So that's
Oh,
he has to
okay.
be.
So I used to pay 550 as a mayor.
Okay.
550 was the fees. And they fed them very well.
Yeah.
Everything was okay. Of course, everything would not be okay.
Yeah,
but the heads had easy access to resources to manage the school.
Yeah.
I was surprised when the head was removed because that head was innovative.
Yeah.
He didn't know I was a chief executive.
Okay.
But the day I went there, my cousin was a teacher there.
Okay.
So when I dropped my child, my cousin was engaging me, and the head was so me yankunyo. Ni first comment. Say most my okay near fee. Mama 10 bags of paint na me fem paint.
You see a Santa Claus.
Yes. Na me fem paint me house ni bi. Na me say you should consider it done. Nti me be fee me buy no na me nya call from Mrs. Then I send them the money. It was less than 3,000 Ghana cedis. The next time I visit him, I paint his school fine. I think he used the laborers who said he was school. Now he had done something. He had done something.
That's the Santa Claus.
So how do we dismiss such innovation?
It's
banner war, you know. It is to give somebody's business boost. The oversupply food items. Go and look at the cost of. So for me, free SHS is not about the accolade or the name. It's about the wickedness we are perpetrating.
But you have nothing against the policies, the implementation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because for me, if I pay 550, it's almost free.
Yeah.
Because the teachers are paid by government.
Yeah.
Almost everything in the school. So that is just to hold the school going, and that was for borders.
Yeah.
So what can now when I give a constituent 700 cedis, I'll catch them down also. The trouble name, you know, each was about 700 Ghana cedis.
Hey, baby, what are you doing now?
No, the trouble itself was 140 to 150. Now we got milk, Milo, sugar, maize. When you look at inside, some had school bag.
Oh, yeah, do.
No, 172 pieces.
What?
172 pieces. My gratitude goes to the Tema Educational Foundation.
I hope the students now are benefiting.
Look,
they will make us
very
proud.
heavy.
Yeah, man.
Obini backpack no okita.
Let me say, I hope they work on. They will make us proud by learning. Please, if you are a beneficiary, men go school and this is some of the reasons I have against the free SHI. If you know they will do free, why you then now pass one thing? They go to school and they don't learn. That's one of my issues.
See the issue.
I was thinking there should be a pass mark or a cutoff point.
No, this was targeting at brilliant but needy.
Yeah. No, men can do impo. The free SHS. I mean, missing Kawama cut-off line and bra. Then would the Obu when you buy 40 something new in your school, boarding, or free. They don't even learn, they don't care.
For me, I think that if parents will contribute 500 Ghana cedis per ward, per semester, it will be better. Because what parents are going through, some schools, one would contribute scaffolds.
Yeah.
Some they contribute money for power. I mean, how can you tout free? And my pain is with intellectuals. intellectuals, the Christian community, who do not see anything wrong with what is happening. Tuition is already free. Tuition is already free.
It's always been free.
So why do you just take food, spend a whopping 7 billion on feeding and SHS? Even that, when they come to parliament and ask, in one bread is 5 billion, in another, they can't even account. And I think that parents should come in, because where we are in our political, socio-economic situation now, we must all make the standard contribution. If it's a minimum contribution to help the heads have easy access to funds for them to buy the necessities like vegetables to provide food, we should support the schools. Government should just come up, own up. And this also reminds me of the contributions of our late P.V. Obeng. I mean, in his leadership when Senchi was organized, it was to tell Ghanaians that we needed all minds on board. And that was...
You think it's about time the government does say?
It's overdue.
Well, if you can also connect with us, 0507-88103, you can connect with us. Your people are, your brothers and sisters are going to the election on Saturdays. It was solidarity message be my one in I know very important.
Yeah, obviously, I want to wish all aspirants well in these pending elections. And I believe that we have come far as a constituency, and these elections are not about the past, even though the past is important, but it's more about the now and our future. I have read many times that we sow what we reap. I believe this statement, it's not only for today, but it has been from time immemorial, that even by our existence today, it's a reflection of what we did in the past, and so that's what it is. And so I wish all the aspirants well. I pray that the delegates will give us peaceful candidates. They will elect people who would stand for the NDC true and true, who would show unflinching love for the forward march of the NDC, who would provide the impetus and the energy we need to prosecute election 2024, who would not be about their own business and issue threats if they don't win. Then 2024, hell will break loose. The people who preach this are not people who love the NDC. I have not shied away from looking forward to quality materials joining the constituency leadership. I've not shied away from indicating to people why they should support their colleagues who probably deserves better. I say all this in sincerity, that yes, I do have people that I believe when they continue in office, it will inure to the benefit of the peace that we so much desire in the constituency. If there's anyone who is offended by my desire for quality, I am sorry, but I mean well. It is for a better constituency, it is for a better administration, and it is to position the Tema East NDC in a pole position to win the 2024 election again.
I'm wondering whether I have to give people the chance to call on 0500-788-103, or when I come home, then we have an extensive discussion, live as a parliamentarian, and we'll talk about Tema, and I will talk about our king's funeral. And it's how many weeks away?
Just a week. In fact, the events have started.
Okay.
The event has started. And so a couple of activities lined up. We started last week, but from Monday is the peak of the final funeral rites of
Osuminado.
Yeah, Osuminado. I am a son of the land. I am a son of the late chief. In fact, we are third level cousins.
Wow.
My great grandmother, my great grandfather are brothers, siblings. But he is from Kokrochewe paternally, and so we relate. In fact, from when he was and stood through to his service, we shared a lot. There were times, he had even desired that I joined the council as a chief linguist.
Oh.
No, my family, we give the linguist. But of course, even within the family, there are lines.
Okay.
So even though I'm from Agbowe, I wouldn't want to usurp that because within the family, we do know there are lines. In fact, in the Agbowe family, we are also the Wulomo. We also the Wulomo actually is on my line, but my father ceded that.
White.
Oh yes. And then also we have the Asafuache. So currently it's the Asafuache that is in my father's line and the others. And so that desire was expressed, and I have known Nintema as a peacemaker. As a chief, he had shown love to the community. He's seen the tough, he's seen the bad, the ugly, but he has stood the test of time for 28 years on a very hot seat like the Tema Paramountcy. I can only wish him well and ask the Lord to repose his soul in peace.
I love his support he gave for me. There were most of the events I did in Tema. He supported me wholeheartedly. What is sad, anytime I invited him, he was there for me. So for me, my fond memories of him growing up and setting out my goals, most of the events I did, he supported me fully.
So I know Friday is the tribute day, Saturday is the main funeral activity, Sunday will be the Thanksgiving service, and the main events would happen at the Niaje Kraku sport, the second sports
That contentious park.
Oh, it's not now it's been open, so
it's a contentious park. Your people, when they come here, the kind of thing, they don't know who to take credit for it.
No, you see, I cleared the land. As mayor, I mean, these are not things we should fight about. At the end of the day, the community has a facility.
I am happy they named it after the...
Yes, it was his singular initiative.
Wow.
Okay, when we cleared the land, the assembly...
Was it an old park?
It's an old park.
And then...
That's the Manche Park.
Okay, and then you decided as a mayor? Or after you had...
No, as a park, it was just that park you know. Yes. But we conceived a stadium.
Okay.
Okay, and so they had given people land adjoining the park.
Okay.
But to have a stadium, you have to demolish. So I did the demolition
to
clear the place so that we can have a bigger place for a park. And when we conceived it, at the time, the current sub-metro chairman, who doubles as the chairman of the MPP Council of Elders, Nilate Galas. At the time, he was active member of the Traditional Council. Okay. So the drawings that we did with him.
Oh.
He was, the current sub-metro was with us when we cleared the land. And the drawing had a tartan track.
Yeah, for
yes, because for me, in Tema, the peri-agric areas are gone. And so we need to be intentional in exploring other avenues for capacity building and economic empowerment.
But you've given a lot of soccer players to us.
Yeah, but now the facilities to train are all gone. We used to play at the Anglican Park when we intentioned another school block so that we would demolish the old one and have a stand. They came, and for political reasons, that park has not been developed. The other one is the B Park, which must also, at least, you must clear the presence of the park. It's not there. So the Manche Park was the only free park. Now, if you build an AstroTurf and the people do not have regular activities on it, you have not helped. Because you must prepare the other smaller parks for them to regularly play.
Yeah.
You know,
you train them, kind of play big matches.
And now even a small boy go to school, after school, he goes there to just play, we call it softball or something. You're an old guy. You know, that free thing. And so once you're doing this, you must open up the other ones. Yeah. And so currently, I know the SDA Park, which is a mission school, the Anglican School Park, when we come back, we'll definitely redevelop. We have to just build another story so that we demolish the...
So the credit must go to the king?
Yeah, to the Tema Traditional Council. For us as state actors, I played my role. when the late chief went to Gapua and even went to the presidency to request for it, at the time it was the former MP who was in office. So he played a part in leading that, but he cannot appropriate. I mean, if those people are
new town,
yes, or Tema, but if the people had built houses there, I'm not sure they would even think of building. But we cleared it and I'll give credit to the assemblyman for Oklokofi, Honorable Ismaila Agabi. Okay. He stood firm. Okay. So he even had a fight with someone who had a land there, and I had to mediate for some time now. And so please, the park is for the community, and I'm happy. I don't think there should be any controversy about it. If they so wish, they can take it, that they did it. I don't have a problem. All I want is that there must be activities that promotes the sporting talents within the community. That's what is more important to me.
These things when they come
we have
here,
come to serve, and we'll
but
serve.
what about they were what the party we started this. I'm saying no. One day I'll bring this to a closure. I'm excited.
Bring it to closure today. The current of Metro chairman knows how we started it. The traditional council knows who started it, and it is in their term they solicited for this project. I admit that the then MP led them. Probably he gave political push for it, and it is in his mandate to do that. We won't take that away from him. But anybody who thinks that they did it, at the end of the day, it was not even government man. It is Gapua. Gapua is a state enterprise. So, I mean, let's not even belabor that point. What other sporting facilities are they developing within Tema? Look, Tema Central.
Yeah.
I drove through Tema Central. Yeah. I saw not less than 5
green
pitches.
Yeah.
5.
I mean,
Tema East, how many? Even the one that we got done at Chidi, I said, go there and see. I mean, when I read some comments on social media, I know our politicking is all about propaganda. I don't want to get into that. Because we cannot be comparing ourselves with the cheaper, lower standards and think we've done much. I've just said to you here, I'm not here to promote, because my desire is to make sure every basic school in Tema has at least a computer lab. And the second phase will be to inculcate reading in our schools, to provide libraries, mini libraries in all our basic schools, and to encourage the Metro Education Office to have librarians who would encourage children, to learn. Our children who are not learning at home, when they come to school, there must be 30 minutes of encouraging children to learn. Today, there's e-library. So even if it's not the book, when they switch on a computer or a phone, something must tell them that there is knowledge in this machine. There is library in this machine. We shouldn't see phones and computers as only Windows applications. And we must always push the children to know that there's stock of knowledge in the computer. That is my desire, that every school in Tema, if I don't achieve anything as MP, must now contribute positively into the educational career of our children.
I get sad when I see our young ladies and things misbehaving on TikTok. TikTok is not a bad thing, but please use it wisely. Some views and other things. I'd like to say thank you to Honorable Minister. I'll definitely come home. We'll have an extensive talk on this. It's been a great pleasure having you here. And I think it's been nice. Any final words for our viewers?
Oh, thanks for the opportunity of having me. And I thank you for the reception. Anidaso TV, you are contributing your quota to the Tema area, and I would also do my best to promote Anidaso, because anything within Tema is about us.
Yeah. My name is PeeKay. God willing, tomorrow we'll make it bigger and better. Thanks for your time. Yami Shawan, baby.